Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to 2 Point Museum. We're back in Passwater Cove. Now there's a few things that I need to update you on. So I did a little bit of moving around. I managed to squeeze in another aquarium there. So that actually gives us a third empty aquarium, which is actually pretty useful because if I just open up this a second, we've done a lot more research. So we've got, what is it? A sea head. Okay, interesting. We have a bunch of new fish that we need to put in here. They've all been fully researched. So we start with a temperate climate for the painted portside fish, and we're going to place that one in here, I think, in this one. And they need flake food, so we're going to just add in flake food from the dispenser right there. Perfect. And the painted portside fish would like to share its aquarium with another painted portside fish, which is easy because we have another one right there that we can place in. Good. Right, now this one doesn't eat other fish, so that's fine. So what can we put in? Well, we can't put the hermit turtle in because they need a tropical climate. So the hermit turtle is going to go in here. And does it want to? No, it just hates aquarium ruins. What about this hermit turtle? Also hates aquarium ruins. And this one also doesn't like them, but it is a big fish. Or it doesn't want to be in with other big fish, or what does this want? A rare specimen with higher buzz and breeding chance. 2 in the same tank will lead to fighting and possible death. Now, that one is also a big fish. Okay, right. So we'll take that one out. This was temperate, so we can't put our other big fish in there because it needed a tropical climate, so we can't have him in there. Okay, then we've got our lionhead fish here, which needs a tropical climate and fresh food. Now it can go in here. No, it can't. It can go in here, but it does need a tropical climate. So again, we'll go into here. We will adjust by putting in a water heater. We'll place that right there. Then takes up 2 spaces, so we can then put another lionhead in here and another one. Can we also place a bull shark in here? That needs a temperate climate and fresh food. Okay, so we can put it in there, but it will probably eat those fish that are in there. So that's not great. What about this last lionhead fish? We'll stick in there. So, oh, wow. We've unlocked a 2-star museum here already. That was quick. Well, we've got other things that we're going to do, so we aren't going to say goodbye just yet here to Passwater Cove. Right, so over here then, what have we got? We've got hermit turtles now. They need a tropical climate. Now, I also have tropical fish over here, I think it is. Is that right? Yes. So we've got the flamboyant fish and the starfish. Now, we have 4 starfish in there, so we could get rid of 2 of them. If I take this one out of here, wait a second, because that's temperate over here, isn't it? Yes. Right, I've got an idea. Now, in this area here, we have a lot of temperate fish, and I think we have 3 floating fish, so we could take 2 of them out. What do they want? Do they need to share with anyone else? No, they don't. They're fine. So we might be able to take 1 out of there, and then this tropical one. How much space do these 2 take up? They take 2 slots each. Right, okay. So with the 2 slots we've got here, we've got 4 starfish. So let's get rid, we'll take out 2 of those starfish. So 1 gone and another one. Done. Then we can move this guy into here. So he gets a tropical climate and the flake fish food, and that's good. Right, okay, brilliant. That makes that this aquarium is really struggling with stuff. It's the water filter. We're going to duplicate that so that it goes in there and clears that space up. Then we have this hermit turtle. Again, it's a tropical climate that it needs, and it needs flake food. But what we could do actually is take the 2 starfish that we've just had and put them in here. Right, so we're just moving things around a little bit. Then over here where we've got this additional floating fish, we will maybe take that one and put it in the other one. We've then got a hermit turtle again in here. We can put that in there now because this one isn't classed as a big fish, so that's fine. What about over here? They're not classed as big fish either. Excellent. Right. Am I going to take the risk of putting this in here? I really can't, because I can already see the disaster happening. So we've got a painted portside fish in here as well. So we put a third one in there. Temperate climate, needs flake food. They are quite big, so we can only fit one more fish in there. And we are also going to need to duplicate this water filter because they are mucking up that tank. Right. So we do end up with our 2 bull sharks here with no aquarium. So it might be worth building another one where this little slot is here. So I'll just get rid of this space. Then we will go to our building. We will add in another aquarium. This one can go like that. Maybe we'll have it come in as well. And then if I just, I don't know if this is going to work actually. Can't put it there. There's not enough space. Right. So let's just see what we can do. The other option is we make this the bull shark tank. And then that just means we have to move these fish into our inventory. Then we can get rid of the flake food dispenser there. We can put our bull sharks in here. Like that. And they use 3 slots and they need fresh food. So we'll put in the fresh food dispenser. Right there. Then we just need to find some space for our remaining 3 fish. Now this one here, if we get rid of one of the floating fish, I mean, we could sell one, right? That gives us 1 slot. Then I'm considering actually extending the tank. So if we just go here, edit this, and then place that into there. Doesn't seem to want to let me do that. Oh, because it's editing the whole building, not the actual tank. Right, there we go. If I do that, will that then give me an extra 2 slots? It certainly does. Right, so then I can just get rid of this. Then he can go in, but that fills it up. So I do need another one. Now I have access there, so we could move this tank even further back to here. And then how big is it now? That gives us another 2 slots, so we can place another painted portside fish in there and then sell this one. And then obviously we just need to move these things back or move them around. I'm gonna just knock that water filter back. We'll then upgrade this flake food dispenser, and then we can put in a load more grasses here. Just have it continue all the way along to here. And of course we've got some extra bits and pieces that we've unlocked from our research. So we'll stick in an aquarium plant, and then we've got seaweed and stuff we can place in. So we'll just stick some of that in. Another one there. A couple of rotated bits. Nice. Okay, good. Right, so we now have all of our fish placed. We've got the tanks done, and we just need to decorate the 3 new tanks. So the bull sharks, what do they want? They would like aquarium seagrass, and they just don't like the flake food dispenser. So let's stick some aquarium seagrass in here. We've got aquarium seaweed, which we'll put in a few of these dotted around, rotating every now and then. Then we'll place some coral in here. Sea anemones, sorry, not coral. And a couple of rocks. So we'll place that double rock and then another double rock here. Then we'll put down a little aquarium ruin like that. Some smaller rocks. And some of these tubular corals. Very nice. And an aquarium plant there. And then it's all about the seagrass now. So again, we'll just start by making a little pathway of seagrass all the way through. Just to really thicken the place up. And then we'll work on the pathway and adjusting little rotations all the way throughout. But I don't know if I'm actually going to need to do that because we've created quite a nice little blanket here, just dotting things around. Yeah, I don't think we need to. Very nice, right, that's in, that's done. That is our bull sharks now done, fully maxed out, and we need to put in a couple of donation bins. So I'm going to stick one here and one here. We'll then put a hanging bit of decor on that side and on that side, and we can start our new tour stand. Now this tour stand is going to go, well, they probably can only do the bull sharks really, so maybe we don't put a tour there. But this tour stand here, if we can now add in here and here, it changes the length a little bit. So if we move this aquarium up, shift that up, and then up again, and then up again. Yeah, okay, so the length is now perfect. The decoration's okay, but we're going to change that now. So going into here, what do these guys want? So we want, they don't want aquarium ruins. The starfish wants any aquarium coral. That one wants any aquarium coral. And that one hates aquarium ruins. So as long as we don't put aquarium ruins in here, this one's going to be fine. So we'll start with a rock. A double size rock, and then another one here with a little bit of a rotation on it. We don't want the ruins. We're going to use a couple of shells here. We'll put one in the corner, and then we'll just change to a different shell here and another one there. And then we'll put the coral cluster in there and a tubular coral angled, then a rock there and here. Nice. Then we'll stick in a plant there and one at the back, and then a few grasses and stuff just to hide all of the mess. Going right to the back there. Nice. Right, let's just put another tubular coral in there, and then some of these little corals look really nice. And then some anemones. So this is quite an anemone heavy little patch, but I think that's fine. And then we can just start spreading the seagrass a little bit further. Perfect, that's looking good so far. Just dotting it around everywhere. I'm going to stick a slight rotation on here, and then it kind of creates this really nice little effect. Then we'll get some seaweed in, and the seaweed will just kind of start moving a little bit further afield. I don't think that aquarium plant is going to be good there because it's blocking stuff, so that's fine. Coming all the way up with the seagrass again. And then we'll do a little strip of it going all the way up to here, where it gets a little bit thicker, and then again it'll kind of peter out a little bit as it goes back towards the door to a little bit more of a bare space. And here's where we can start putting in some of the bigger stuff. So we put a log in. Is it going to fit anywhere? Surely. Yes, it does. It fits, but that's blocked that item, which is unfortunate. Can I just move it to here? Yes, we can. Wonderful. Right, I don't know what I was trying to say there. Anyway, that's good. We'll put a couple more bits of seaweed in here just to finish off with some larger plants. And then I'm just going to grab a couple of these shells as well to finalize it all. And the little swirly one going back to here. Nice. Okay, that's good. Happy with that. That's another aquarium done, and our lionfish is our last one. So they don't like the flake food dispenser, also hates it, and finally hates the flake food dispenser. So that's fine. That's going to be an easy one to decorate, so I can put whatever I want in here. So I'm going to start with some anemones, then we're going to stick in a bit of stone. We'll stick the aquarium temple in there. I'm also going to use some kudos to get the treasure chest, which we'll place. Where's the front of it? Is that it? No, that's the back. So there's the front. Then we can put in some anemone clusters, tubular corals, a mixture of seashells, and then what else have we got here? Some seaweed. Nice, another tubular aquarium coral there. That's blocking an item now, so just better move that along. Still blocking it. What if we just bring this down to here? Wonderful. Right, and then we want to add in, what else can we place? Let's just go with this now then. And again, we just slap this down wherever we can. There doesn't have to be any rhyme or reason to this. It's just going in to fill in the slightly boring bottom of the tank. Nice. All right, good. Right, we are now up and running there. So we've also unlocked Gulfweed Grove, which is our next destination. So we want to make sure it's just marine life. Let's have a look at our tour setup. Everything there is perfect, so that's grand. Excellent. Obviously, the bull sharks, they're not part of a tour, but they will bring in some money on their own. Now, let's take a look at our new expedition, because at this moment in time, we have completed Tide Mountain. We've unlocked the maximum rating of pristine for both of those animals, and they are fully researched. It is the same with Marina Junction. Underwater Cave, we haven't yet got that sorted, so we're going to set up an expedition to go there and clear that out. Slow sailing will increase our expedition time, but we don't have anybody with mechanics to actually counter that. We could get lost at sea, which is a little bit risky, but we'll take it anyway. The next thing we can do, given that we've also unlocked Pebbly Coast, but this is for botany, so we can unlock that, but we don't really have a botanist to go there and do that. We've also then got tropical plants, which is overgrowth jungle, and that involves aquarium stuff, so we can now unlock that as well. But these are two things we'll go back to once we return to Memento Mile. Also, if I go back over to Bone Belt, you'll see we have the Lake Long Lost unlocked, which again is more dinosaur bones and fossils, but we can't go there yet because that is something that we're going to need to do again once we get to Memento Mile. So we've got 3 new locations there for Memento Mile. This Wetlandian guests we can't do yet, but there is a fish there that we can unlock. We need to admit 10 Wetlandian guests, and we don't unlock the Wetlandians until we're further into the story on this map. We've got Gulfweed Grove there unlocked, so we can go there, which is good. And then obviously the SS Silverbottom here, that is a supernatural based one, so we can't get that yet. Once this expedition comes back, we'll unlock some more nautical stuff, but like I said, we've got botany there, which we can't make use of. Botany there, which we can't make use of. We've done all of Pebbly Reef. Bone Bank was a prehistory, so it's Gulfweed Grove next. Here we go. Right, so we're going to take... who we're going to take? We'll take Mandy Jobfish. We'll also take Zoe Windmill to prevent the whirlpool. And then we've got the slipstream thing we can't do anything about right now because we don't have the required level, but we will take the survey scanner to boost our survey level. Right now, collecting more than 1 fish doesn't really matter yet. So that's good. Right. Obviously, next episode, we're going to go do the county archives, but I think it's best that we get this finished first. What have we got here? We can now purchase a plot there, and we can purchase another plot right there. So that gets us 2 new plots to play around with, and I think will probably be a very, very good thing to do, because what I might do is I might move most of my staff stuff up there, including the helipads, which means this can all be developed a little bit further, and we can have a larger platform or footprint right there at the front of the museum, and then those staff buildings can move up, which gives us even more space. So kind of like a second redevelopment in quick succession would not be beyond us, really. But we'll see what we come back with. We've got Gulfweed Grove and the underwater cave. Hopefully once that's been unlocked or moved, we'll get another location or a couple of locations because we're a bit short on the fish front at the moment. There we go. Treading Waters has now been unlocked. And we need a training room at level 5, decoration, and employ a level 5 qualified. That just gives us bonus XP. Oh, that is a shame. But it gives us bonus XP in marine life, I think. Increase survey level faster. Well, that's not anything to do with what I'm doing now. But yes, we've unlocked Treading Waters. It doesn't really help us out too much. So I think the next thing to do will be to go straight back to Memento Mile. What do we get here? It's just experience, of course. Let's have a look at sending an expedition out there. I think it will be for our trainees to gain experience. Let's just take a look. Treading Waters, setting up the expedition. Yeah, it's just bonus experience. We need to send a marine life expert there. We'll send you, and we will take, I guess, a survey scanner. We'll make it detailed. Why not? We'll see what experience they come back with. But that's about it, really. There's not a lot else we can do. We're going to just continue exploring this location. And then now that that space is unlocked, I might have a look at what we can actually do there. So let's have a look at our buildings. So we can build a fairly large building on this plot. And I think we will take up the entirety of the plot. Apart from the fact that we're going to need space there for a door. So we can't go quite to the edge. Place that door down just so we have an idea of what it is we're looking at. And then we'll go right along and we'll come all the way back down again. Same here, going right the way to the top. There, fill in that little blank space there, and then coming down to here. Now, I will, however, because of the odd layout, we'll remove these and then remove this. And then guess when they come up to the top, they can go in a door there. Maybe straight ahead on the corner. We'll eliminate that then. And then that's it. That's good. So we've got a new building there that, you know, I'm not holding out much hope for that, but it's something that we can then use to make things a lot better here. What did we get? A seahorse. Okay, interesting. Now, that's pristine. It's a temperate fish, but it's also a big fish. So that's another thing we're going to need to be aware of. I wonder if the best thing to do is to kind of, rather than having these like multiple aquariums with small spaces in, we go with something that is far larger, because here we have I think this is a tropical one. Yes, so this is a tropical aquarium. We've then got a temperate aquarium here. And then we've got another temperate, but there are carnivorous fish in there. So yes, maybe we need to take a look at that soon enough. But for now, let's just go back on another expedition, I guess. So we are going to head back out again to Gulfweed Grove, where we know we've got the Seahorse there. We're going to fill this up. We are going to take a wide net this time. We'll take Mandy, and again, we'll take Zoe Windmill. We'll make it detailed. If I have a look here, that takes us up 85%. Instead of the wide net, we'll take the survey scanner then. It's 135%, so we're not far off completing the survey level for that. We are making money. So we're making a lot of money, actually. We're making almost as much money as we make from from Memento Mile at this moment in time. Let's have a look at what Treading Waters gives us. I'm pretty sure it's just going to be experience. It is. It's just bonus XP. So probably not the best place for us to be going. Let's just have a look at what other expeditions we've got. I don't think there's anything here. And over at the Bone Belt, obviously, Lake Long Lost doesn't give us anything that is going to help us out here. There's nothing for us there. Swallow Hollow is going to require the man-eating plant a counter for that, so it's plant camouflage, which I think we'll get when we go back. The Silverback Swamp is for wildlife, and we don't have that done yet. We need the drill to move deeper into those locations. And again, it's the Wetlandian Guests, which we don't yet have. But everything else has been unlocked. And I think all I can do now, really, before we go back to Memento Mile, I will, of course, get all of this sorted, and we'll add in some more. I guess we could probably try and move some aquarium stuff up to here, seeing as this is a very large space. And maybe just I change the staff stuff here. Maybe we do move the helipad. But that's something I can work out next time. I think I will develop this off camera. So when we do come back to Passwater Cove, you will see a very different looking Passwater Cove. For now, it's all about getting whatever exhibit is the next one to come back from here. You know we've got the Seahorse, so I will do the usual. I'll get 2 all together and I will research them. I will max out this survey level to pristine, and then we will be back in Memento Mile next episode. Unless, of course, you are watching Passwater Cove in order. I'm going to put each one into a separate playlist. So all of the Memento Mile will be in one playlist. All of Passwater Cove will be in another one. If you're following in kind of series sequential order where there is a little bit of jumping around, obviously, we'll be back in Memento Mile in the next episode if you're following that. If you are just watching Passwater Cove, I'll see you in the next Passwater Cove episode. Thank you all for watching. Oh, wait a minute, I'm not finished yet. We're gonna look at this. What is it? The water dragon. Very cool. And it's pristine as well. Temperate climate, flake food, ocean view. Apparently a fine-looking fish evocative of the sea boosts the environment. Nice. And I guess that's not a big fish, so we could potentially put the water dragon in here. It does want an egg cup, though. We'll go in here. Temperate climate it needs, so it can't go in there. That's something we're going to have to work out then. So, thanks again for watching, and I will see you for the next episode of 2 Point Museum in whichever way you are watching it. Bye-bye.